Good morning, Major Mayhem. Sorry I missed you when you first posted. Alright, so this is live now. How many copper unloaders do I have? I have 2, and I have 1 train to service them. That's probably fine. Something I need to learn with this new dynamic train setup. This might as well go away because you ain't fitting here no more. Well, yeah, you do. Surprise, surprise. Not used to seeing that. That's disappointing. I probably only needed 1. Alright, that's updated. So now all of my singles to duals are taken care of. Ooh! A visit from Mucky, the self-proclaimed effing Canute.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Thank you for the follow. Oh, somebody already did the shout out. Wow. It's so nice to have a moderator. Hi, Mucky. What you been doing? I'm looking forward to your next integration. So, we are... How's Exotic Industries treating you? I heard you earlier saying that you don't really care for all the outpost building. Well, that's pretty much all I'm doing with this playthrough now, is I've switched Krastorio2 from a centralized processing facility to an outposting facility where I do heinous things like put copper cable on a train and then unload it. Well, you know, if you built smaller walls that were more space efficient, it wouldn't take as long. Just saying. Just saying. But hey, you do you. You know, I'm just trying to solve your annoyance, you know, hoping to ease your pain. For me, I have iron sticks somewhere now. Yep, right here. And those go on a train. I have to redesign these things so that they're stackers, so that they have... I mean, I've got a design for it right here that has built-in stackers. I don't like it very much because the stackers, things get confused. But it balances out over time. Stackers are very space-hungry pieces of rail. I don't like them. Alright, so the next piece that I can automate is these, whatever the heck these things are. Because I now have iron sticks and gears on rail, I can now build a base that has these. So let's spec that out. And of course, let me know if the music is too loud or something's wrong with it. So what I want to spec out is this. My cat has the zoomies. That is this thing, automation core. So I'm going to end up putting this on a train. So it needs gears, sticks, and copper. And if we look at rate calculator, and I only really care about transport belt capacity when I build these things. So I'm just going to keep adding these because you can do a shift left click with this tool and just keep adding them. So now I'm up to 6 and I'm using 3/4 of a belt and half a belt here. So this is going to be a weird one. So I can do 8 of these using 1 belt and more than half a belt. Hi Jay, welcome. So I can't put these on. This is an absolutely terrible recipe. So now I can do shift control right or shift right click and drag, and I can delete one from this. So 5, 8, 3, 5. So if I do these in sizes of 6, right? If I have 6 of these, setting that one aside, killing off my stupid bots. So if I have 6 of these, when it comes to, okay, the output is going to be 1/4 of a belt, which is a terrible ratio. But when it comes to feeding it and unfeeding it, I'm going to stay in this design model here. So this is what I'm doing for green circuits, which green circuits have a requirement of 3 items as well. And when we look at their numbers, the green circuit numbers, so there's 6. 6 is using half a belt of copper. Right? I'm getting 1/4 belt out, and it's got 3 inputs. So when you look at these 2 items, you see the similarity. Yeah, it's different items, but from a belt perspective, it's the same. I'm going to need 3 belts. I'm going to need 3 items on the belts. I'm going to need an output. Copper is going to be the big consumer on this one. Copper cable is the big consumer on this one. So this one technically is limited by copper cable, so my maximum is double this, which is 12. But this one's a piece of crap, and its limit is the fact that I want to put iron sticks and iron gear wheels on the same belt, so I can't have either one of these go over 1/2, because I want to use this design model. So if you were to look at this from a component perspective, I mean, what are we looking at for items on the belt here? So this is an input, and that's the output, and I think that's, yeah. That means that this is the electronic circuits, and yes, I see chat. Now the high volume ones, which was the copper cable, I put closest because it can benefit from the higher speed inserter. And then the other 2 that it needs, which is a little bit of iron and in this case a little bit of wood, I can put here. And so this satisfies what rate calculator tells me, is that if I bump this to 12, I'm going to use a full belt of copper cable. Well, I'll tell you, Jay, one of the things I did, because I use, in terms of hotkeys, I got tired of hitting Q and having it sometimes select what my mouse cursor was over. And thank you for the tip on the precision. And so sometimes when you hit Q, if I hit Q and to clear the cursor, or to pipette, if I hit Q to also clear the cursor and I happen to be mousing over something, it will pick that as my cursor. And sometimes I just want to get rid of what's here. And so having to sometimes hit Q twice was annoying. So I remapped clear cursor to Z. So when I hit the Z key, it clears the cursor. Now, that creates another little problem because Z was drop item. So now drop item is Shift F for me. And it took me about 2 weeks to learn the hotkeys. QWERTY, yes, I have a QWERTY keyboard. And I have my left pinky on the A. Unlike apparently some younger kids that I play with, they shift their hand over. and their left pinky is on caps lock or shift. And so what that gives them is that WASD is being controlled by a different set of fingers than mine. My WASD is controlled by ring finger, little finger, ring finger, middle finger. Their WASD includes their index finger because it shifts over one. It's weird. Instead. All right, so if we take the same concept over here and we say I want to use a similar model, what is this one going to take? This is iron plate, iron stick, and gear. And iron plate is the expensive one, so this is going to be iron plate. And then these two are iron stick and iron gear. And then this is my output, which is whatever this random. Now the challenge here is setting up a structure around it that is space efficient. Because this is short and wide, and by short I mean this distance. I like this type of layout where I can get, you know, a lot of usage from the unloaders, get a lot of carry on the belt, and I'm using red belt right now. So things like this where, okay, I'm getting 12 of these and 24 off a pair of belts, and that's, you know, this is a 1-to-1 ratio, so I've got, you know, 2 loaders. I'm trying to make use, maximize, or make good use of the splitter, the design that I've got here, you know, intersection design. Ones that I do not care for are things like the sticks and the copper cable, because first of all, it's 1-to-2 ratio, not 2-to-1, so I output more than I put in, which is different. Gears are different in this mod in that they are 2-to-2. Pipes are, I think, 2-to-2 as well, or so. Engines only use iron, but this to me is like bellissimo. This is a really good layout, except for I screwed up the stacker, so I'm gonna have to redesign this. But in terms of just belt usage and placement, I have the inputs at one end, the output at the other end. I've got the corner tight so that if I wanted to, I could bring this in one more, which I didn't, so there's a mistake. But I wanted to set these up so that as I expanded the blue belt, if I ever went up the blue belt, all I'd have to do is take the cap off of this and then extend these out farther and then put that on, you know, put this return line in. I originally was going to put it down here, and on the simpler builds, yeah, I could run the output here and then run the input here to the loader. But when I started looking at the more complex builds, there's no way I could easily get this out on both of these and have it clean, right? Because I can't get across here. I've gotta have room. It would be a little bit of a jumbled mess. And when you look at things that are even more complicated like this, I would have to add more space so that I could get the engines out somehow, and I'd have more unders. And then I wouldn't be able to do this internal stacker. Now I'm going to be getting rid of that internal stacker, so maybe I redesign the whole I/O thing so that it is what you would call uncapped at the end. So that I could just extend it if I wanted to. But am I even going to get the blue belt on this build? I don't know. So am I going to plan that far ahead? Yeah, I don't know. But this is going to look a lot like green circuits. So if it's going to look a lot like green circuits, let's just grab green circuits. Unfortunately, it's a lot shorter than green circuits, right? Because it can only afford these 6, and I do not like that. But it lends credence to the option that I was just discussing. And sorry, I'm sitting there working in the dark. If this was totally loaded and unloaded from the bottom, I wouldn't care how tall it is. Then this one dot that comes up here wouldn't matter. And I don't need a center stacker anymore, so that space is dead to me, Jim. It's dead, Jim. So this is a prime opportunity for me to reevaluate how I'm unloading these things. And maybe I do it differently. Just for my own sanity, I am going to change these now so I don't screw them up later. This is an automation core. All right, here's a challenge. Automation core is more red than anything else. So we'll go with that. Now this one's using 2 unloaders, one on either side, and I really ended up liking this solution here, this blending I'm doing here. I'm not thrilled with it, but it's good. It's good. So this is copper cable, which is not what I'm wanting. I want copper unloading. Copper unloading happens at the copper smelter. And my copper smelter is right here, so that's... No, that's not where copper unloading happens. Copper unloading happens here, so I can just copy... Gosh darn it, there it is. That's why it's one of the backwards ones. So you're a copper unloader. Now this one is currently wood, but... Hi, kitty cat. I think it was iron sticks was one of them. And seeing as I'm making iron sticks somewhere, I should have an iron stick loader. And if I have an iron stick loader, I can take it and change it to be an unloader. Now the other thing this thing needs is gears, so on the far side of it, I will put down a gear thing, iron gears, and we'll go find my iron gear assembler. This is an iron gear loader. We'll change this to an iron gear unloader. Is that pasta? You're such a meanie. You're so mean. There's no spaghetti there. Ah, you wound me so. Alright, so if I make a little more space here, and I look at this carefully from both sides, I've also started doing a flip thing where it's the same, but flipped, so that I get the consistency on the exit. So if I were to bring this down here, I'd have some pasta. And how can I get away from that? How can I redesign this feed such that I can get this out? So I've definitely got it on the correct side. And here it's just a matter of, you know, there you go. But on this side, it's little tricks here. Because this is colliding with that. Now if I swapped these two and say you end here and you end here. me undo what I did so I can see what's going on. So I've created a tightness here that I don't necessarily like. And this is one of my more complex designs, and whatever I come up with here I can use in a lot of places, but let's move this up and out of my way. But I need to know height requirements of this loading from down here. Also, I don't have any kind of a mixer here, which is kind of a challenge, because if one side starves, the other side doesn't load. Kind of sucks, but then again, the trains will eventually balance that out because they'll stop being requested to unload here and they'll be requested to unload there. So the dynamic train loaders that Mucky insisted I learn how to use actually would work here. They would solve that problem, and then I don't need to put a balancer here. So if I just arbitrarily put this at the same level as the other two, and they're locked at that level because of the stackers that I'm using. And it just occurred to me, I wonder what would happen if I tried to dedicate this stacker instead of using two generic stackers. But I don't want to get into that right now. Squirrel! So if I take the most simplest things and I say, this is what I want to do, instead of pushing them way out and around, but if I'm willing to clutter this up and make Jay's spaghetti, then first off, I'm gonna have to go under here. Anti-spaghetti. I'm a huge fan of anti. I don't get to watch this stuff very often, but man, it's good. So this is going to put a copper plate here. And so what I basically need to do is, because I'm going to use these two lanes, if you will, I'm calling these lanes even though they've got belts and they're going to have different materials on them. So I'm committing to saying, because these two lanes are going to be used by the output belts, then I need to get rid of the use of the input belts as soon as possible, so that I don't have a conflict of trying to use the same lane for both input and output. So that means that this belt needs to bail before this belt gets placed, and because this is going to be in spot 2, bail on lane 1, bail on lane 2. The challenge is this intersection right here, that corner, that bend right there. I can't put a half belt there. I can't put an underbelt there. So I could go under here, that's totally fine. But again, because of this tight corner on the output, I have to go under just before it. No option not to. Now that doesn't have to be a thing there, but in general, I'm going under the inputs. So, this is what my feeds look like now. Now the one that I have left here, I've got a couple of challenges. These two are still copper cable, they're still iron plate. So these are iron plate right here. And they need to go all the way over here. Now I'm going to set aside whether or not I need to do a wiggle or something like that, or how I balance these, or how any of that works. Because I may push this out there. But again, we're just going to assume that I'm going to run the output out and over. And so you have to bail here. I'm sorry, you can't bail here. You have to bail here because I need this lane. And you have to bail here because I need this lane. So that's the earliest I can do any of that work. And you have to turn, so this is always a conflict, is do I just extend this? But I absolutely have to have that, so do I have you go up and down underneath? But then I don't need it to go underneath here, so consistency. And again, these are copper plates. These two are gears. You have to ignore the filters because they won't change until the power is turned back on. And then these are going to be sticks. And I'd like to keep it all within this. I'd like to keep all the belting in this rail segment that excludes the stackers, right? I could run these taller and have the whole thing be taller, but I am trying to be as space conscious as I can. So what this means to me is that this needs to go all the way through. Because these, well, now that I look at it, no, they don't. I've got copper plate being loaded on both sides, so... Oh, that's right. They need to get to here. Now that complicates things. I should look at green circuits for this and redo green circuits based on what I learned here. But it's the same principle. Yeah, this is a flaw. Because I can't feed you and you from these. That is definitely a problem. I can feed you, if I extend this out, I can feed you from there. But how do I feed that when this is all in the way? If I back this off, as I was discussing, I can do that, which is pretty gross. That little, that's that gap right there. Ugh, ew. That's something Mucky would do. I'm not interested in that. I mean, not even Humbo would build that. But that takes care of those. Now, I gotta get sticks all the way across and gears all the way across. But in a weird way, because I only need one belt of each to make the cross. The crossing, if you will. So one of these comes with me, and the other one stays away. So it'd be smart if I alternated those. Or I have to do some sort of crisscross here, which the crisscross would be nice because it would isolate these and make them identical. Because one of the things is that I want to be able to copy this, take it, flip it good, and have it just work. Right? So that I'm not engineering things for two sides. But if I have this one stay and get replaced there, and this one stay and get replaced there, do I still create a perfectly balanced flippable thing? Maybe, because outside of it, it doesn't know that one of these is gears and one of them is pipe or sticks. When it actually plays out, I'm going to see them on opposite sides of the belt, but I don't know if that matters. So maybe on both of these, I just have number 3 stay in, and number 4 goes out. Certainly don't. So you would be better off going like this. You're in each other's way. That blending merging thing is a challenge there. Because you would come here. You would go like that. Which normally is perfectly fine, except for I've got this other belt here. And I don't want to have all sorts of weirdness happening there. I think what I want to try is, let's take a look at this. What if you went under here? Oh, that's, yeah. Oh, that is disgusting. I don't like that much at all. It does work. It is belt space efficient. I will save it off, but then I will go look for something else. So if I'm doing this correctly, then this is just flippable. Yeah, it is. Okay. Now the alternative is that instead of taking number 3 here, I send number 3 straight on to the other side. Straight on through to the other side. And this space is not being used, so maybe I do this. I forget where you're going. Then, because you're not going to go anywhere, you have to go under here. So you'd be coming there. Do I even need you to tilt anymore? I've got this one saved off, so I can just whack it. Whack it good. So now I have a situation where these 3s are going straight through and colliding with each other. So these 2 have to swap positions somehow. Or 3 gets taken here and 4 gets taken over there, but what's an efficient way for these to swap places? That's the end result of what I need. but not like that. Belt swapping is such a challenge. Well, let's try something and then see what I get. Having the rail there doesn't make it any easier. The alternative is that I take 3 from one side and 4 from the other, but then flipping it doesn't work at all, right? Another alternative is that I run one of them under and the other one straight. So I take this one, and I do that. And I take this one and do this. That doesn't work very well for me. In fact, it's kind of gross. Kind of not friendly to my digestive system. Because ew. That bothers me to look at. This part is really nice. I'm going to distract myself by looking somewhere else for a moment. Sort of let that percolate. And clean this up a little bit. Alright, well, if you'll reach there, you'll reach there. That's okay. I'm alright with this. We're essentially just moving this balancer to the other side. Oh, but there's a signal in the way on this one. Oh, it still reaches. Alright, for consistency. Getting outside signals are a challenge to work with, I'll tell you. So I've left it and come back, and I have not come back with any better opinion of it. Now, if I pop this down, I can make it... How does this look when I flip it? Oh, it's already got a difference there, yeah. And I don't want to get caught in that. So what I flip, I rarely will flip outside these belts. So what I'm telling myself here is that I want everything inside of here to be identical. And so anything I do in this space, I want these parts of it the same, so everything else could be different somewhere else. Now, to be successful at this, I'm pretty much just going to have to acknowledge that I need to take this space. And if I'm going to keep it symmetrical, I have to do that. Now, in here, I'll shift them. Like, take this one and say, you're now... meeting up with that. If I just simply, I'm willing to go there. Yeah, that works. I'm kind of okay with it, actually. Because I'm doing stuff on each side that is destructive to both. I'm doing most of the work on the right side, but... that I like. They're not the same, but they're both doing something. This one's moving 2 down, this one's moving 2 down. Yeah, this one has an extra little shuffle. But the design is balanced in that I can go basically unloader to unloader, flip it, and it works the same, except for that one lane, but that's okay. Alright, I can move forward with this. This is going to get me automated cores and a review of green circuits. Now, where am I going to build this puppy? Automated cores are gears and iron sticks and some copper. And it has a built-in stacker set. I don't much care about this stone. I can't go directly across the neck because I don't know how to design a single-lane T-junction that can be bidirectional. Don't know that I'd want it anyways. Move this over a bit. Put my rail intersection underneath it so I know what my full size is. Now I'm looking over here because iron sticks are here and gears are here. And if half of what you're going to do is here, maybe you should look here. Hey, look here. Now, I obviously don't want to cause myself a headache by putting it on top of this river set. I mean, I could, but I don't want to. I can't squeeze it in here. I don't really want to clobber oil, because in this mod, oil does run out. If I look at where my power poles are going to go, you can see here with this design, I went around stuff that I had poorly designed already, making pasta rails. This is probably as good a spot as I'm going to get. To be honest, that stacker, yeah, it doubles the height. All right, let's go build it. Let's get on a train. No wonder I'm so slow. I did combat things at the end of last round. Get on the train before I try and make it leave. Once I'm out of base, I will turn on my bots. So unfortunately, I do have to refactor some of these that I've already finished because the stackers are just a broken mechanism right now, and I'm kind of manually managing it, but I'm gonna have to fix it eventually. Alright, so let's start by, oh god, breaking this rail so the trains don't come in here. There's a frickin' worm over there. Not anymore, but... I think I shot my own building. Or maybe my own bot, I don't know. Well, apparently trees and rocks don't work with this setting. Now I need to get my train in here. And then keep building. Not enough batteries. I think there's an upgrade for that, but I would have to research it. All this creep is annoying. That sucked right there. All right, I need these. Gonna need that and that. I need those, and I probably need those, and I probably need that and that and that and that and that and that. And I need to figure out power. And I built that thing right in the place where it ruins my power poles. I don't really have an option to move that either. I can't tuck it in. If I gotta push it out, I stack the whole thing taller. Just for what? One power pole? No, that's hard to sell. That's a hard sell for me. Somewhere along here is something that fits, so. And then I still gotta connect power in internally, but. I appear to be out of lamps and stations. I thought I carried 5 stations. I do. And this is 5 stations, so why am I perennially running short of stations? Well, I just ruined a train. Somebody started to be on their way here and I just shut them down. That's alright. Doesn't look like it's moved to be blocking anything. I thought I moved my train up here. Oh, it was blocking the signals. Alright, so now I gotta figure out power. I did not get power connected correctly everywhere. Unfortunately, one of the real flaws in this design is power does not flow like the spice. Or the Spice Girls. I think I need a couple more. I don't have a train for this. I need you to make me a train. You know what? I need a generic train blueprint. This is just a train and a locomotive. Because I have copied and pasted that far too many times. It's unfortunate the colors are so close, but whatever. You will eventually come here to get full cargo. Yeah, why are you still sitting here? You're hungry, you're hungry. Oh, I don't have lamps. By just a couple. But that's on this design. Alright, so while I sit here and watch things to make sure they work, I am going to enable these. I am pretty certain I need to put another copper train down here. So you can temporarily go off to one of my staging areas, whilst I put down another copper plate train. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Go. Alright, so copper plates unloading, iron sticks are unloading. God, I never thought gears are unloading. I thought I'd never hear myself say the copper sticks are unloading. That's just... Alright, so you are getting half of it. Well, you're getting actually everything of everything you need. I did leave this gap here. And now that I have this outside, I could probably tighten that gap. Let's get out of the way of the train. If you were here... Nah, I couldn't get through there. That's one serious flaw in this. Nah, I guess it's not. Alright, it's working. This will fill up soon. How much do you have in you? Got 1,000 now. You're not exactly high performers, are you? Why aren't you working? You don't have gears. Why don't you have gears? Because there's stone on this belt. Site prep is important. Why aren't you working? Because there's no copper. Oh, because that's copper cable, then it should have been copper. Look at me, I'm gonna have to get rid of a whole bunch of stuff because I didn't copy paste correctly. Alright. That's not too much. Yes, it is. When you're bad at the game, you get punished. Turn that off for a moment so that I can get all of these in here. Actually, the sticks I can just dump here. Let those catch up while I go pick this stuff up. Good. Good, 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 good. So, if you like resources, don't watch. Nothing happened there. Pew pew. You're not full. Alright, so let's start speccing out this in that mode of blending. So first off, we don't need this here because we can move you down here temporarily. We can take all of the top parts of this, put them here. Parts of this, put them here. All right, and then all of this. This is going to be a little bit off. I'm going to put that there. And it should be identical to this, just flipped, right? Yep, okay. So whatever I do there, I do there. I'm going to have to go up there. Okay, there's an or a copper delivery. Nice. That's going to cause you to work. Everybody's green. Almost everybody's green. You don't have enough iron sticks. This performance isn't that great. I'm not liking this. Wait a minute. Now you're telling me that you need a full belt of iron sticks to work? Did I screw this up terribly? You need half. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. This is terrible. This is absolute wrong formula. Might as well shut this off. Need another belt. We're just going to let you burn through and we're going to go away and ignore you exist for a little while. Because you're broken. And I don't want to think about it anymore. Matter of fact, you who just got here, we're going to send you away. Right away. I will send this train there to go pick that up, and then I will bring it back here. Alright, turn off my bots. Come down here. Let's take a look at this from the green circuits. Am I doing this one right? You're at half, half, and 2. Well, that's 2. That's half and half. So then this model should work for you. Matter of fact, this, that's what's different. I have changed the direction of the output belts. That should be the same, and then if I flip it, that should be the same. Now, if I go take a look at these carefully, the output belt is this, the input belts are good. I had to have an underbelt there for that to fit, but I didn't need it here. I'd rather have this like this, with that gap, and the reason being is that it gives me this consistency of what's inside here is the same on both of these. Now this is my new green circuit build. Different from my current green circuit build by that much. Which ain't a lot. I think I can manage that. Alright, so I'm going to take a train down there. I might bring a scrap train, but probably not. Inventory's kind of low. Don't need to keep carrying these 20 engines right now. Alright, so much for my inventory being kind of low. I haven't been needing 100 of these, so maybe I don't bring all of those. I don't need the extra combats. I don't actually use loaders except for very rarely. I haven't been doing a loader playthrough. I'm not Ignis. We'll just go take your spot. That didn't work. Alright, so make sure that you're broken. We're going to break all of these. Let's see if I can easily break them without breaking that. I need you to just go away. And that's what these are for. So you just go away. And then I break all of this with this one spot. Now, take a look at what is it going to take for me to get what I want here. So first off, all of these are going to point the other way. My bots are off. Secondly, I have changed all of this. I think I've changed some of this, so we're just going to delete all of this. Not like... Yeah. That took way too much work. I'm having that problem in this mod. And maybe it's the legs. But I have trouble getting through in places where I shouldn't. Alright, now onto the heavy lift. So I think all of this needs to be removed. Well, maybe not that. But it might be that the whole thing has to move, so... Let's grab this without that piece so it doesn't get built. Alright, got a couple more I need to reverse. Take that off my plate. What is the challenge here? This thing is moved to the left or up by, it looks like, one tile. So if I delete this, the big thing is those chests right there. Don't really care about the rest. Don't care about the power poles. But not having to destroy those chests will be a huge improvement. Oh, maybe it needs to move more than one. It looks like it needs to move at least 3 more. Well, that's a bit. This is what it looks like. I just killed a whole bunch of you. I don't know how you keep getting back so quickly. Because I push you way far back, and you keep getting in really close. There's no pollution. Gotta bring these things in. Alright, that looks good. And I didn't even grab too much crap. That's bad. That's very bad. Crap. The biggest concern I have is where am I going to get the color from? The other things, I'm just like, yeah, I can fix that. Color? That's the big thing. I forgot to copy and paste those correctly. Copper cable and iron. Alright. So I've got a bunch of this stuff, and these are all probably full. And I don't want to just throw these in the trash. Then again, I also don't want to micromanage putting these things into output chests. But that's where we are. That's the choice we have been given. This won't take too long. Only a dozen of them or so. It's not like we're playing a farm simulator or something. Just occurred to me, do you think in a game of Starfield that you're the crop? And you're just being farmed by the game? I'm supposed to have these here, by the way. These are a little easier to distribute. That's fine. Cool. We should be in good shape. Gotta put this down again. I should see some things wake up. And then we go. Turn off our bots. So those... these things I designed completely wrong. So I delete this. And I go get this. Also, that's got the wrong color. It needs to be more brown. So we go and we get this. Because for this to work, give me them. That would require a full belt of each. I'm only giving it half a belt. And 1.5 belts of copper. I'm giving it 2. So either I cut this in half and go like that, which for performance is absolutely terrible, especially considering that this is 2 seconds. These are fast. But they eat a lot of resources. So do I want to make this wider and bring another belt of resources in so that each one is pulling 1 copper, 1 stick, 1 gear, which means that this is 5 belts wide, which is fine. I can design that. Because I don't like this thing keep getting wider and not getting taller. And I really don't like how short this is. But I don't have a choice because with red belt I can't push it farther. Now, challenge there is feeding it, and now all these numbers and all this pathing goes off. Because if I bring another belt in here, then I'm not doing any blending like this. I'm just straight up feeding it. And if you're bringing this in here, then I have to bring these belts all the way across without blending and just smash like Becky. And so these are all going to be too short or too close. So first things first, which this really sucks, all of these have to move over. And they have to move over because I need to make room for a fifth. Let's just gut this. Move this over one. Delete all of this. Delete all of this. Delete that. This has to move over two. Probably gonna move up. Might as well just move it up now. Move it on up. So you're gonna be the output. Output's gonna go in the middle. It's probably where my power poles are gonna go now. Yeah, that's in the wrong spot. You're gonna be a feed, you're gonna be a feed, you're gonna be a feed. And you're gonna be a feed. So you're a feed, you're an output, and you're a feed. Now if I do this design, it's super simple. I have a spot for a power pole that doesn't interfere much, and I don't much care. Hey, the alternative is to batch them up. Now, to batch properly, I need to look at not the first one. So you would take from here, and you would take from here, and then you would be putting here and here. Except for I would batch these up, so you would be here. So it'd be like that. And because these are far away, that would go like that. And then if I wanted to keep it tight and concise, I would do that. Power poles. Probably do the same thing here. So this is way fewer underbelts. Considering how cheap power poles are, I don't necessarily need to put them in the middle. I could just put one on either side. Actually, yeah. Well, which one cost more? This is total raw 6 and 2. 6 iron, 2 copper. This is total raw 59 iron. Well, that kind of solves that, doesn't it? We're not doing that. Suck it up, power poles. Now, I guess I've done this wrong here. Because there's only 6 of them. The end pieces aren't that much of an issue. That's fine. Okay, so that's not too chaotic. That creates challenges. For consistency, now I've got a couple other problems to deal with. Because I can no longer just run one across. Now I've got to run 2 across. But I can't run them across. Because I can't get in here. Because I put this here. The only way I can resolve that is to move you down 1. Ew. I haven't even looked at how far up I've got to move this, but this is no longer 4 to 2 because I need to bring some of you all the way across. So, yeah. I'm questioning whether or not I want to deal with these or just push everything up. And by push everything up, I mean do all of my belt work here and just ignore this space down here at the bottom. Just give up everything that is curved as unusable space. And push. How far can I push this? Because that's as short as that can get. So I can only get 4 in here. More accurately, what I would do is I would not use any of this space for an external one. I would give myself a guideline that says everyone after the first doesn't get this space. You get this space. You guys, I need to extend everything up one. Use guys. Or two. So I need to have 4 belts that I can run down there. That's 2. So you're gonna go here, you're gonna go there, you're gonna go there, and you're gonna go there. Means that the first place that you can accept resources from is right there. That's gonna make for a very tall setup, but there we go. Now, if we want to be consistent about this, the insides all have to go under by 2. It'd be great if there was a way to merge these so that, because I am pretty certain that this is not putting out a full belt. It's putting out half a belt. So these 2. Now let's not look at you. Green circuits, this stack. He is putting out 1 full belt, so you can't merge with him. Which, by the way, I should put a... need to put a splitter in here to merge those 2. And why are you still loading up? Okay. Anywho, regardlessly, your output at its earliest would go here. Your output at its earliest would go there. If we treat all of these the same, I would go like that, which I would really like to do. But it creates a bit of a problem here. Begs the question as whether I should do this. Or whether I should do this. That's probably a cleaner solution. Because then you expire here, you expire here, and I don't have those conflicts. And if I wanted to, I could do this. I can't do it here as well, but so having the output down here causes a little bit of a problem, but not significant. I've also got this extra thing for where I have those, so I have a little bit of wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. One of you has to be this, and the other one has to be somebody else. The reason I'm considering this is because of that. DJ, thanks for the lurk. Thank you. I'll see you when I get back. Odds are on YouTube. Or will be after a while. Could I just bring this one in and then take this one down there? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I follow the same philosophies of what I've done here. I just bail you there, and then I bail you there. And then you two are gonna have a problem. Again, I've got a switch over I've got to do, right? Let's just get rid of all this.
Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away.
Hello, King Penerb. That's what I always wanted in my life, is to have the rains in Africa blessed. Hey, seeing as we just missed Hurricane Lee here in the Carolinas, I just wanted to point out that one of the things I've learned recently is that all Atlantic hurricanes come from the southern part of the Sahara Desert. Right where the desert ends and the forest is, there's storms that they start there. And then they head west and they get to the Atlantic Ocean and they pick up water and stuff from a hot ocean, hot Atlantic. I know how you like hot Atlanta. And then they, if the weather patterns jet stream off to the United States isn't strong enough, they make it here. The rains in Africa end up being the cause of hurricanes in Florida. So by blessing the rains in Africa, You are condemning people in Florida. Just so you know. Just so you know. Alright, that's pretty straightforward. I like that part. That's pretty straightforward. We're good here. Mr. Astronaut, hello. Yes, you will find lots of good blueprints there. Let me know if you have questions. So what I need to do here is swap these two. Because this needs to go here, and that needs to go there. All in. All right, well, let's start with doing a blunt force swap of this to this. And this to this, and see how horrible it is. That's pretty bad. I have no clue how I'm going to do this. And make it look decent. I really don't. That doesn't work very well for me. I guess you gotta go and get out of the way. So that's a solution that works, and my goodness, do I think it looks like crap. Oops. Control C and C are not the same. Well, it's interesting that the signal there kind of creates a bump. If I tried to do it onesies, I try to do this one at a time. Instead of both of them. Or if I tried to alternate it, which is another. Because this one has no problem doing this, right? Which minimizes the underbelt stuff. I don't want to think that hard. This is good enough. This works. So this is an even wider replacement for the existing one. And I do not like it. Do not like it one bit, Sam I am. Specifically what I wanted to avoid was really wide builds. I mean, if your stacker is small compared to your build, then your build is big. And this whole thing needs to be torn down. Alright, so I'm gonna go get my... I'm actually gonna ride the scrap train there. And then I might summon the other train if I run out of stuff. Oh my goodness, is this scrap train slow because I'm not using more advanced stuff in it. Ooh, buddy. Let's put my stuff over here. And then just start tearing all this out. Oh, I need my bot. This is now scrap train loader. I do have to be careful to make sure I don't lose power here. Mostly I just like using the weapon. Why, bots? Why are you so dumb? Well, good thing I didn't cut power to that. Maybe today I'll put fluids on a train. They're kind of like snakes, but less slippery. You better have stuff on you. Alright, you get back here. Oh god, I screwed this up. I forgot to replace these. The full cargo is there only so I can see the percent full that it is. Alright, well, we're done here. We're not. We're not waiting for that train for one more frickin' thing. And then I need to immediately disconnect this. Oh, I didn't put any robo ports into that design. Maybe I can squeeze them in. I think I'll get another Mark II Roboport. Why aren't you scrolling continuously like you're supposed to? I think that other train changed its station because I renamed its station. So now I need to reset this. Be until you are the frick full. Alright, so how am I going to deal with power here? And radar.